Hello and welcome to the craft kitchen. The last we were making was this tiny journal with the mini file folder, the tabbed mini file folder. I inked it, reinforced it and then sewed in a signature. And now, today we're going to decorate this. I've already pulled out some papers, loads of papers, book pages. This is actually a copy of my granny's measure tape. I made this copy on canvas. There you can see. So you can fold it, roll it up, just like measuring tape. You see? Like this. Love it. What else? This is the window of an envelope. Just some junk envelope. Then we have a copy of a dictionary. What else? This is a really, really bad copy. Print of printable, but this will nicely fit in here. There. We are going to decorate this. Pictures from a magazine. What else? Some scrapbooking papers. Some thicker, some really thin. Notebook page. These are from the magazine too. And here is a little piece of paper I made for an envelope with some dried blossoms and tea. I'll show you someday how to make this. What else? Ah yeah, and the rip-offs of the wet tape I used for the art journal binding. What else do we need? Of course, we need glue. Bookbinders glue, maybe tacky glue. You could also use this double-sided glue tape, right. What else? Maybe something to roughen up the paper a bit. Of course, scissors or a knife. Some kind of rulers. And I've prepared some strips of my homemade aged clear tape. I will also use for this maybe some strips of well-used masking tape there, or something like this. I've got a box here with some bits and bobs, some washi tape, some cut-offs of printables, anything I couldn't use for other projects. This is actually a piece of a napkin. Let's see. Plenty of ways to decorate all this. I've glued some decorations on the inside. Just some papers I found in my stash. A book page, misprinted printable. I don't remember. I think it's scrapbook paper. A piece of a magazine page, and glued it in. And also pulled out a sheet of my pre-made vintage labels. These are just these paper labels for stationery, something like office labels. made of paper. I stamped on them, then aged them with ink. Just random stamping, you know? Which one do we want to use for this? Yes, that's nice. Let's glue it on the tab. Somewhere like here. Great. And I think I want to use a strip of this wet tape in here. Somewhere in here, maybe. Let's see. My sponge, some water. Not that much. Want to try it quickly. Okay. Watering the wet tape and just glue it on. Just like you prepared the page, you know? Okay. There you go. Oh. So, again here. Maybe I want something else to go in here. Oh yeah. This is beautiful. It's a top piece of a ripped page I used to cover my stamping. It's really nice. Let's see. First I'm going to rip this like this because I want the words Frühling und Liebe, spring and love, to go in here. Which size do I want it? This. Oh yeah, that's nice. Again, inking the edges with walnut stain. As I said, I love the combination of walnut stain with every kind of greens and yellows, because the brown of walnut stain is a bit greenish. A bit more. I don't know. It seems to me these tiny ink pads from Ranger Distress Ink dry out much faster than the big ones. I have no idea. I store them upside down because I want the ink to be easily reachable, but no difference. So let me see. There. Oh yes. For the decorations of the inside, I used bookbinder's glue. You can use every glue you like. You also could use double-sided tape, like a glue tape runner, maybe a glue stick, but I want this to stay. Oh, it says spring and love on both sides. I want this to stay as long as possible, so I use trustworthy glues. Of course, this tape on paper is no problem at all. It sticks even on a silicone mat. But when I thought about which glue to use for this project, I had an idea. If you use glue stick, something that lasts not that long, and the paper would fall off, you had the chance to redecorate it. over and over and over again. This will stay because the glue tape on this really aged paper is like cement. So, what else? Do we want something else? I think I'd like to have some stamping over here and maybe here. I don't know yet. Let me take a look at my stamps. Okay, I think I found something. Since I don't actually like the stamping on the back very much, let's cover it up a bit, yes? And here it says spring and love, so we're using this daffodil for the front. Yes. So now I'm going to decorate the outside with some book pages and bits and bobs and whatever I can find, what else I can find. And then I'm showing you how to make the rust effect on the paper. Okay, so now I've decorated the outsides of our mini journal, front and back, added some clear tape, some aged clear tape, and some bits and bobs. This label, I didn't write or stamp anything on it because I like the thought that the new owner of this will write whatever. My journal, memories, name, whatever. On the back, this is a copy of a ticket printed on a strip of canvas. Yeah, art canvas, ripped off. A book from a... Oh, what are you? I have to glue it down again. A page from a songbook. And now, to the part I think most of you were waiting for. How to make the rusty effect on paper. First, of course, you could use this, what's called grit paste. Basically gesso with some particles like sand or something like that in it. And dye it with perhaps coffee or brown acrylic paint. But I don't use grit paste, I don't have grit paste, I don't make my own grit paste because I don't use it that much. But I found out how to make a somewhat similar texture with just clear glue, some cinnamon and instant coffee. You could also use coffee grounds, like this espresso grounds, dried, to add more texture. And first I have to say, this is not an exact recipe for this texture paste, because every glue every instant coffee, every cinnamon, every coffee grounds are different. So in my case, I'm using just about, let's say it's very small, half a tablespoon, more like a teaspoon of clear glue, adding some cinnamon, just eyeballing. Out! There you go. Something like maybe quarter teaspoon. Then adding some instant coffee for the color, rubbing it a bit, but not too much. You want the texture to be added to your glue. Then just stir it a bit. It will take a while because of the cinnamon not bounding with any what do you call it? Any liquids. Yes. Okay. And oh, I forgot liquids. I'm using water-based clear glue. I have no idea what will happen if you use something like Fabri-Tac or Collal or something like this. So just a little bit. Now you could add some glimmer, maybe. You know what? Let's add some copper mica. Just a wee bit. I have to find my spoon for this. Okay, can't find it. I have no clue where. Got it. I use this silicone spatula for this. Just a little tiny bit, because you don't want your mixture to be too shiny, because when you look at some rusted elements, there may be a bit of shine, but not that much. Most of the rust is really, really matte. Yeah. Okay, now we have not enough texture. No. I'll add some coffee grounds just to add a bit of texture. You could also use some sand or maybe salt. Just a tiny bit. And of course you could use fresh coffee for this, but you have to be aware if you use fresh coffee, not coffee ground, not undrained coffee grounds, you'll be adding a bit of color to your mixture. Consider this, please. So all mixed up. Now let me get some space here. The lid for the coffees. So, and now just dab your brush in there and then dab it on the paper, like so. This is why I left some space where I didn't glue some bits or some stickers. Okay, like this, and of course down here. Flip this to the right side. Just dab, 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 dab. Also maybe on the clear tape. I have to admit, the glue I'm using for this is not really the best. For this project it's suitable, but I have no use for this for any other projects. Dab, dab, dab. There. While dabbing this, you want to make your first layer of rust, not going too far, just to see where you want to go. There. Okay, maybe a bit here and here. Okay, like this, adding some there, and again the back of the journal, some here, just dabbing, dabbing, dabbing. So now you want this to dry a bit, and then add another layer. So my first layer is nearly dry, and now I'm going in with my finger and dabbing more glue to the page, but not, let me show you, not right to the edge of the first layer, because how can one describe it? Rust is growing. In fact, it's really, really growing, and you can see, dab in slightly where it's much older and where, where the younger blooming started. Over here a bit, not that much. Here we want a thicker layer, and with the second layer you're taking up much more texture, which is perfectly fine and wanted. Oh yeah, looks really nice. There could be more. And it smelled so wonderful. I love coffee with cinnamon, or coffee with cocoa and cinnamon. Cinnamon is always a game changer, even in smoothies or in glue, as you can see. There you go. So, since this takes a bit to dry, I obviously made just the amount for the outside, and let this dry, then flip over, and we'll smear the inside too. Okay, now we've completely messed up the outside and the inside of the cover. There. It's a bit hard to see. It's slightly shiny there, but it really looks like blooming rust. there on the inside. When opening, yes, rust over here. This isn't quite dry yet. It's dry, but I will give it another half an hour. And of course, if there is any coffee not gluing in your rust, like this, yeah, just rub it slightly off, like so. You might want to make this after it's completely dried. I'd say something like 3 hours. For this glue, I have no idea how long it will take with your glue. There. And yes, I know, dearies, paper doesn't rust. I know, but I love the effect. I love how this looks, and I will put some hardware in here to catch up with the rust effects. There. Okay, over here. Just like so. A bit of rubbing. There you go. Okay. Nice booklet. Maybe I put an eyelet in here, one in here, or maybe both sides. Maybe I make a 4-point closure with this, with eyelets. Oh yeah, and this might be, depending on your glue, a little bit shiny, but let me get the other one. There, it's shiny too. If you sand this, it's becoming matte again. Really carefully sanding. You don't want to rub off the texture. This is a bit more shiny since I rubbed some copper acrylic paint on here, but I just want some parts to be like this. Yes, and there, matte again, and some spots are shiny. Maybe I can do this down here at this edge too, just for demonstration. There, less shiny. I don't know if you can get some matte clear glue. I couldn't. There you go. Matte. Ooh. Stay. You're supposed to go in here. You see? This is just coffee and cinnamon and glue. And on this I used some acrylic paint to just rub it. Just to give it a slightly copper shine, because I thought this would go very well with the yellow, and it does. Love it. So let this dry overnight maybe, or just 4 or 5 hours, and then go in with your sanding tool and just mat it, or take a bit of where you don't like it, take a bit off of this texture there, much more flat. Or here I'll take a look when it's really dried. Yeah, hopefully you've had some fun today. You've learned something. And maybe, just maybe, you would like to give me a thumbs up or leave a follow, maybe a comment. All creators love this, you know. And I'll see you next week.